In this tutorial, I want to cover how to create a key schedule. And to get to the key schedule, you would open up an existing door schedule, and you want to make sure all your doors are entered and all your hardware is entered before getting into the key schedule. So you would come under the Add Hardware Schedule tab, and you'll see a button here that says Add Key Schedule. And that's what you'll click on. Now there are several different ways to do this, but before we get into that, I want to clarify that to create this key schedule in Portal Pro, it will not create the actual bidding for each of the keys. You will need some kind of a third-party software to do that. For example, I know some companies, they've used a program called HPC Master King software. I'll pull that over here. And this is software that you can use that will generate all your key cuts and everything else to create a key system for a particular building or project. And it will also create the actual symbols, like for example AE1. These are the symbols that we're really concerned with here. Now at this time, there's no way to import this automatically from this kind of software into Portal Pro. So it will have to be entered manually. And there are a couple different ways you can do it. Number one is you can go into the door schedule itself after the doors have been entered. You can see a field up here now. It's called key symbol. And that's where you would enter the key symbol for a particular lock, like AA1, AA2, etc. That is one way. And I mean, you could even come down here and just go down right next to the tag number in this column for keying. And let's see, I usually turn caps lock on and just start typing AA1, whatever the symbols are, A, B, 1. And you can go down the list, you can add them in this way. Now, another way, and this is what you'll need if you want to create a schedule. Let's get rid of that. If you want to create a schedule that you can print out and include with your door and hardware schedule, is you'll come under the Add Hardware Schedule tab, and down here you'll see the Add Key Schedule button. Before we get into that though, some things you'll need to do first. And this is something you'll have to do if you have an existing schedule that you want to update. You have to designate what hardware item is actually going to be keyed. You can see there's a couple fields here. It says can be keyed, a checkbox, and then additional key instructions that you can enter here. And these are just notes that you might want to make about this particular hardware set and the keying that needs to be done. It could be anything. Maybe let's open up a hardware set first. We'll go to hardware set 1. And you can see there's only, well, let's find one with multiple doors. There should be someone in there. Well, maybe not. This is a small project. But let's just go back. If you had multiple doors in here, maybe tags 1 through 4 are getting hardware set 1. And maybe door number 3, they designated to have 6 additional change keys. Well, you could make that note in here for that door number. So that's one of the things you want to do. So to get this to work correctly, you can see that there's a couple things you want to watch. Okay, this is the actual lock. This was a test thing I was doing. Let me find another one with my apologies. I should have had this ready before I started this video. I know there's something in here, if I can get to it. Well, maybe I'm wrong. Oh, here we go. All right. This is an example I wanted to show you. You can see here we've got hinges, we have an exit device, a cylinder, and a closer. What you want to do is indicate which item is going to be keyed or can be keyed. In this case, it would be the cylinder itself. you would not want to select the exit device. You want to select the cylinder that's part of this hardware schedule as the item that's being keyed. So if I double click this, you can see you want to come up here and you check can be keyed. And again, if you had any additional notes you want to make about it, enter it right here at this time, and then you add item back. So, okay, I'm going to have to save that since it wasn't saved. And it'd be the same for every one of these items. This is the same case here. You have a lock and a cylinder. The cylinder is the item that would be marked as can be keyed. We go to set number 2. There's a cylinder. That's obvious. 3. Now this is a passage. There is none. There are no keys on this hardware set. So you would just ignore checking anything for this hardware set. And we look at set 4. Okay, there's a mortise lock. Now there's no separate cylinder, so apparently the mortise lock has the cylinder. So we would double click that. You can see that's would be checked to be keyed. So if, like I said, if you have an existing hardware set or hardware schedule, you'll want to go through and designate which item can be keyed. And that I'll show you in a second when we get to the key schedule. That will be used when it creates the schedule for you. All right, so once it's all done, you're ready to add the key schedule. So I'm going to click this button here, and we get this form here that opens up. You can see it automatically loads all the tag numbers. Like I said, this is a small project. All the hardware sets for each one of those tags. The key symbol field, of course, is blank. And the item that's going to be keyed, whether it's a cylinder, mortise lock, or whatever it might be. And then any additional instructions that can be entered over here. Now, if you're only going to have, a master key only, you only check this box here. And that says that this hardware set or hardware schedule includes a master key only. And you want to put the quantity, we'll say 1. And then you'll use the key symbol. So let's say this will be A. Sorry, caps locks. We'll make this key symbol A. So then we will come down here and we will start entering our key symbols for each lock. So this one could be A1, A2, A3, and on down the list, whatever it might be. Now, if you're going to have a grandmaster, maybe one grandmaster with 2 or more master keys, then you would check this box, and we'll enter 1 here, and we're going to make this symbol A now, since it's the top of the list. Now, you can use whatever symbols you want. It's all up to you. I've just seen this as the typical standard for key symbols. So we'll make the grandmaster A. And then the master keys, if we have 2 of them, we'll make this one AA. We'll do a comma, and then we'll make the second one AB. So that will be our 2 master keys. And then here we have our grandmaster. And again, down here, when we do our key symbols, we would do, if this was part of the first master key, it would be AA1, AA2, and maybe this one will be AB1, and maybe this one will be keyed the same on the change key as tag number 4. We'll make this one AB1 also. So that just tells them make the change key the same for these 2 locks, but key them to this AB master. And of course, all the locks get keyed to the grandmaster. All right, so then again, if we have a great grandmaster, you'll want to check this box, put in a quantity of 1. And if you have a great grandmaster, then you probably will have, it could be, I would say, the chances are you're going to have 2 or more great grandmasters. So then we need to go A, comma, B, and then the master keys will then become AA and AAB, or it could be I'm not sure how that would work after that, ABA or however it works out in that respect. And then we would come down here, we would do the key symbols for each opening. All right, so we're just going to keep this a little more simple. We'll go ahead and make it a 2-level system. Make this no. That will be 0. That will be yes. That will be 1. And this will be quantity of 2. All right, so then we'll go ahead and we'll key the rest of the locks. AA3, AA4, AB2, AB3, AA5, and maybe AA6, whatever the keying schedule calls for. So once you get all that filled in, you can come over here. All the notes that you entered over here in the hardware schedule in this box will show up here. You see I've already got just testing this out. So that could be, again, whatever you'd want to type in for that particular lock or the door. And then you also have key schedule notes up here. Now this could be just specifying something a little more precise, like all to be like C keyway, or whatever you want to type in here. It doesn't matter. Whatever you want to put in here, these would be notes concerning the entire hardware schedule. These are notes for each particular basically hardware set, actually. All right, so once you get everything entered and everything looks good, then you want to come down and click Save. Tells you the schedule's been saved, and then we're going to print it. And this is what your schedule will look like when it comes up. Make it a little bit larger. So have your company head. It tells them that this is a key schedule. It gives you the job name, the customer, the architect. Apparently that wasn't filled in for this job. And then it tells you great grandmaster, grandmaster, master, everything we entered on that form. And then down here is the list, the tag number, the key symbols, the lock, and any additional instructions. So that would cover it for creating your key schedule. Now once you get to this page, this screen, at this point you can come up to this first little icon up here where it says Export Report. Click on that. And the first thing you want to do is do not leave this on RPT, Crystal Reports. Click this drop down and change it to PDF. If you left it on Crystal Reports and generated a schedule, then the person you give it to would have to have Crystal Reports to view it. And of course, PDF is the universal format. I recommend that over anything else you see in here. So again, create a PDF file and then just give it a name. I'll just call it key. And it looks like we're in this. Let's go up a folder here. This will be in this folder, Chillicothe Department of VA Med Center. I don't think that's the same job, but I'm going to put it there anyway. So you would save it to wherever you want to put it. Typically, it would be in your job folder, so you can find it again. So we'll click Save. Export complete. And now if we go to that folder, just give me 1 second here, see if I can find it real quick. There it is. We now have a PDF copy that we can include with our door and hardware schedule. So that's it for creating key schedule. It's really pretty simple. but hope it helps everyone out. Gives them a little bit more detail to add to their door and hardware schedule submittals. So if you have any questions on this, please call the office anytime. I'll be more than happy to help you out. And if you need assistance with anything also, be sure to let us know. Okay, thanks. Appreciate it.